طبعا سموه like ده الشكل بتاع sin 2x integrating from 0 to 3. It's gonna develop 0.75, which is 3 over 4, exactly as we said. Okay, this is a very nice problem, and it's confusing. It's giving you the knowledge that integration for a certain function from 1 to 9 will equal to negative 1. And integrating from this function from 7 to 9 will equal to, and integrating for another function called h of x from 7 to 9 will equal to. He wants you to evaluate integration from of negative 2 times f of x. حد يقدر يقول لي عليه؟ قول. Exactly correct. This one will equal to negative 2 times the integration from 1 to 9 of f of x dx. Don't write the final answer directly. Right first this statement, then it's going to equal to negative 2 times from 1 to 9, which is negative 1, so the result will be 2. In a similar manner, he wants you to evaluate this function. So it's going to equal to, حد يفتي Yusuf? How to evaluate? It's going to be integration from 7 to 9 of an f of x dx, then plus the integration from 7 to 9 of an h of x dx, which is simply going to come up to, I believe, 5 plus 4 equal 9. Please don't try it 9. Try to write it this way. At the worst case scenario, if you make a mistake evaluating, calculating or something, you will take 0. But this way, if you try to put it, you will minimize the possibility of getting this problem wrong, which is really very simple problem. For this one also, which is really very simple, exactly in a similar manner, you will get 2 times the value of an f of x, which is simply 10, minus 3 times 4, which is minus 12. But please write it. Okay? Okay. خلاص دول سهلين واضحين ما فيهمش مشكلة whatsoever، بس انت خدت ده عادي.
The from 1 to 9 is 1, positive 1, right?
From, yes, exactly right. It will equal negative sign times this value. Okay, perfect. For this problem, he wants you to evaluate the volume of a liquid in a tank, which is given by V from T1 to T2 Q dt. Determine the volume of the chemical, given that Q, which is the integrand, is given by 5 minus 0.05 T plus 0.003 T squared, starting from 0 up to 16. So all I have to do is just simply to substitute. صح, Mr. Khalid? I will start substituting from 0 up to 16. I will take Q and substitute by this value. Integrate and substitute in the order. أي مشكلة فيها؟ واضحة؟
No integration. No integration.
No, you will integrate. Okay? You will evaluate. You will get V, the volume. Yusuf, what's wrong with you? V is going to be integration from 0 up to 16 for the function, which is simply 5 minus 0.05 T plus 0.003 of a T squared, and you are integrating with respect to T, just integrating. So it's going to be 5T minus 0.05 by 2 over T squared plus 0. blah blah blah. Okay, it's going to be T cubed divided by 3, then you will substitute. First by 16 minus 0. It's very, very simple. Okay, what happened?
One thing, why did they give us the values T1 equals 0, T2 equals...
This is the integration limits. He's giving you also the integration limits. He wants you to evaluate the volume, which is given by this function. Just substitute and evaluate. Okay? Okay. Try to solve the practice exercises from 149 to 150 and 151, chapter 36. This is the revision sheet. I would strongly recommend that you go through these problems. خلينا نمشي مع بعض كده. الأول أنا هتكلم عليه in general، لأن ده بيساتسفاي البروبلمز بتاعتك او chapters starting from chapter 5 till the end of our course.
عندي سؤال على السلايد اللي انا في السلف براكتس اكسرسايز، هي الشابتر اللي لاحظت في الكتاب بتاع بيرت
اعتقد
انا بحس ان الشابتر غلط، مش دي الشابتر اللي فيها الانتجريشن.
Are you sure؟
شابتر 36 كانت حاجه ثانيه.
طيب اتاكد وقول لي وانا اقول لك. اوكي
شوف
ماشي. تعالوا بقى هنا بيقول لي question number 1 expand using power series. This is actually exists in chapter 6. How to expand this function? We'll have to expand first e to the power of x squared, which is very, very simple. I will show it to you, the idea behind it. Here you're going to solve these two equations. Logarithmic function. Do you remember what I've said about logarithmic function equations? If you have a logarithmic function, try to go to the exponential form. If you have exponential forms, try to use logarithmic functions to deal with them. Solving these equations, it means to find the values of x that will satisfy these equations. Very, very simple. I'll give you a brief idea about it. This is a considerable problem. This is a very nice problem. It's giving you here the function which is a times b to the power of x. So simply you will have to use len or logarithm for this equation in order to separate the variables and to treat it as a straight line. Okay? I will give you an idea behind it. Okay, follow this sheet, it's very, very important. Here is asking you about studying the continuity of the function. It's giving you a function, it's asking you about the continuity of this function. How to know that a function is continuous at a certain point? You have three main tests or three main steps that you will have to do. First of all, the function should be defined. So once you try to substitute, you will get your function. Okay, then the limit exists. Number 3, the definition equal the limit. The definition equal the limit. We did go through this, Yusuf, in the previous lecture. For this function, using the first principle, evaluate the gradient. It means find y dash using the law, using limits. And I did go through it. I've tried to convince you it's really important. You are subject to questions using the first principle. This is really very simple. He's asking you to find the slope of the following curve. He's giving you a function and at x equal to 0. So what you have to do is to get y dash first, then substitute. The other one is asking you to evaluate the integration of e to the power of 2x sine 3x, which is very, very simple, x squared plus e, in order to integrate. The last one, he is asking you to find the area enclosed between the curve y equal x minus x squared and the x mean axis from 0 to 2. This is really a very nice problem. He is giving you the function and he is giving you the sketch of this function and asking you about the limits. Here, for the function f, whose graph is given, determine the following limits. If the only limits, okay. I need to find the limit of x tends to 2. So what to do, Mr. Yusuf? I will go to the x-axis and at x equal to 2, the limit from the left, the limit from the right, that the limit is gonna tend to 0. And from the left is gonna equal to 0. So simply, the limit exists here and is 0. And this function is continuous. He didn't ask you about continuity, but this function is continuous. As if you substitute in this function, the value is going to be 0. F at 2 equals 0. And it will equal to the limit, so it's a continuous function. He is asking you about x tends to -3 from the right. I will go to -3. From the right part, the function actually tends to reach -2. Okay? There is an array from the positive. -3 to the negative. -3 to the left side is going to go into +2. So from the right side, -2. From the left side, going to +2. So actually, if he asks you about the limit at -3, it doesn't exist. This limit doesn't exist. Limit at x equal to 0 in a similar manner. 0 positive, which means the right hand side. If x tends to 0 positive for this function, it will tend to -1. Keep it in your hand. if x tends to 0 with a negative. If you remark from the negative side and the x is approaching 0, the y function approaches infinity. And that's in x at 0, f of x doesn't exist. The limit doesn't exist. And of course it's not continuous. For limit x tends to positive infinity, as you can see, x tends to positive infinity, it is approaching the value of positive 1. So this is for positive infinity. For x tends to negative infinity, this is the function, and it's decaying, so actually it's going to equal to 0. This is a very nice one. This is really a very nice one. And you could be asked about identifying the limit, and moreover, he could be asked about the continuity of this function at these points. It's very, very simple. Please remember, if I want to know that a function is continuous or not at a certain point, I have to find 3 main issues. The function at the point, then the limit at the point, number 3, they should equal to each other. روعة. تعالوا بص على دي الاكسبانشن. انا عايز استخدم اسمه ايه ده؟ عمر؟ مين؟ مؤمن. بص يا مؤمن انا عايز to expand e power x squared root x. How to expand it? The expansion is given e power x equal 1 plus x squared over 2 plus x cubed over 6, and you will find this in the 6th lecture in exponential functions. This is the expansion of an e power x. If I want to evaluate, he's stressing on the fact, if I want to evaluate, I'm sorry, if I want to expand e power 2x, حد يقدر يقول لي اعمل ايه؟ e power 2x اعمل ايه؟ يبقى 1 plus 2x plus over factorial 3 or 6 and so on. If I want to evaluate e to the power of n, if I want to evaluate e power x squared, are you with me? طيب انا عايز to evaluate e power x squared times 2. So this one is going to be 2, it's going to be 2, it's going to be 2, it's going to be 2. صح. If I want to evaluate times root x, all this function will be multiplied by root x. So the expansion actually for this function is going to be 2 over e power x squared times root x will equal to 2 times root x, 2x to the power of half. Then it's going to be 2 times x to the power 2 plus a half, which is going to be 2.5. The one after, it's going to be x to the power of 4 and a half. So it's going to be x to the power of 4 and a half. Then plus x is going to be 6 times 2 over 6, which is 3. So it's going to be x to the power of 6.5 divided by 6 and so on. What happens? This is the expansion of this function. Okay, and you have an example in the lecture about this issue. How to expand, how to multiply, and so on. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is substitute and then work your magic with multiplication. Really, very simple. Okay. What about this one? He wants you to solve this problem. I will solve one of them for you. If I want to solve the first problem, what to do? Opinions? Take all the len on one side. Yes, exactly right. يبقى أنا عندي len of an x plus 3 plus a len of x minus 2, which is going to equal to 12 minus 2. Okay? The next step is going to be 10. For those ones, it's going to be a len of an x plus 3 times x minus 2 صح كده؟ السكند ستيب او الستيب اللي بعديه that's an x plus 3 times an x minus 2 will equal e to the power of 10. Logarithmic function go to exponential and vice versa. Then start to evaluate this value using it's going to be a quadratic function. So you will have x squared plus I believe an x positive minus 6 minus e to the power of 10 equals 0. Try to solve this using your calculator or using the law of a quadratic function, which states negative b positive negative square root b squared minus y is equal to a. It's done. The other problem is going to be the same, but you will have to get the exponential function just only in one side and all the numbers to the other side before taking a logarithmic function. This is the main idea. Okay. This is really very simple. All you have to do ساعة كام؟ ايه؟ 10. حلو، يعني اقدر اقول لك دي بسرعة. بص انا عندي y بيساوي a times b to the power of مين؟ of x. Use len. Once you use len, it's gonna be len y, which is gonna equal to len a plus len b to the power of x. So you will have y, which equal to a plus, this is going to be x times b. Remark this x value didn't change. Okay? So it's going to remain as x values. But you will graph it or you will use it against the n over y. So actually for this table, you will have to add another row. Which stand for len of mean of y. وبعدين هتبدا بقى تاخد point len over 0.4 يعني تكتب هنا len 0.4 len 0.9 len 1.2 len 2.3 len 3. You can use these values in order to graph your straight line. Also, you can use these values x and len 1 in order to use the formula that we already did go through previously. Start taking, let's say this is going to be x1, this is y1, this is going to be x2, this is going to be y2, and start substituting x. I'm sorry. Y minus y1 over x minus x1 equal to y minus y1 and x2 minus x1. This value will give you the straight line which will be represented by this function. Y equal a plus x times b. Okay, man?
How did you change everything to len y, len a, len b?
I've taken len for both sides. Then just take len for both sides. You will write, take logarithmic side, logarithmic function for both sides. And they take the advantages of using logarithmic function, which is very, very simple, if you remember. Len a times b is going to be len a plus len over b. Len a by b is going to be len a minus len over b. Len a to the power of b, it's going to be b times len a blah blah blah. You'll find all of this in your lecture.
How do you know that len y equals len a plus len b is correct?
Okay, we will sheet this after the lecture. Move the steps. You will have to take len for both sides in order to separate this multiplication to be on a form of a straight line. The only thing that will make this separation possible is taking the advantage of the logarithmic function properties. Study first the logarithmic function, then you will find it, it's the only way. Okay? طبعا عندك ليكتشر محترمه جدا انا اديتها لك في الجزء ده. ازاي تو ريبريزنت logarithmic function, exponential functions on straight lines. طبعا هنا بيقول لك discuss the continuity at x equal to 3. يبقى انا اول حاجه اروح اوجد مين؟ افتكر كده؟ اول حاجه اروح اعمل ايه؟ هروح جايب f at مين؟ اللي هي بتساوي كام؟ This is number one. Number two, I'll try to get the limit of x tends to مين؟ يبقى انا هضطر ان انا اصول اللي فوق اللي هو 2x square minus 5x minus 3 over x minus 3. Yusuf, this is by factorizing, you will get 2 over x. Okay, this is x minus 3 divided by x minus 3. I believe this is going to be x plus 1. This is the limit of x tends to positive 3. This 2 will be cancelled together. You will have 7. Number 3, you will try to get the limit of x tends to 3. If it is equal to the definition of the function at 3, which is not correct, so this function not continuous at x equal to 3. معايا يا شباب؟ دي الستبس اللي انا هعملها للبروبلم زي دي وارجوك راجع دول موجودين معانا. طيب for this problem x squared plus 3x you will have a direct substitution. Do you remember the law? This factor law? Limit h tends to 0 over f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. First of all, try to move every x to replace every x by x by h plus h. So it's going to be x plus h to the power of 2 plus 3 over x plus h minus x squared minus 3x, all of them divided by h, and you are taking the limit of h tends to 0. Simplify it, you will find the result, which is going to be 2x plus 3. That's the final result. This is the main steps that you will have to go through them. In finding differentiation, all the rate of change using the rate. He wants you to evaluate the integration of this function, which is very, very simple. It's going to be e to the power of 2x divided by 2. It's going to be negative cosine 3x divided by 3. It's going to be x to the power of 3 divided by 3. It's going to be e times x. Don't you forget plus a constant. He wants you to evaluate the area enclosed by x minus x squared and the x-axis. First of all, try to grab this function, which is x minus x squared. It's really very simple if you understand what I told you about. I have y equal x minus x squared, so instead try to get 0 equal x minus x squared, which is going to be x, 1 minus x equal to 0. So this is the main function. Here's x equal to 0. That's x equal to positive 1. The function is going to be like this. This is the area required enclosed between this curve and the x-axis. So all you have to do is just integrate from 0 to 1 for the function, which is x minus x squared with respect to the x. You will get your area. X equal to 0. Okay, this is a part of it because he wants you to integrate the x equal to positive 2. So I will have to go for this part too. I will have to hunt this part. So simply, this value will be plus the absolute or minus the given function. It's really up to you. So plus an absolute of an integration from 1 to 2 for the same function, which is x minus x squared dx, you will get the required value. You will have to resolve all of this by your hand. This is really very important. Shabab, I thank you very much for your attending today. For next lecture, inshallah, I will be here in our classroom. I believe it's going to be on Monday, K109, either from 9 till 10:15 within this campus. Also, I will have office hours starting from 10:30 up to 1 p.m. If you have any questions, just drop by either in the classroom or in my office. It's going to be E505 in engineering. If you have questions, if you have something you want me to help you with, I'm going to be very happy to be with you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you. Bye. محاضرة